Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1 minute time check, stations.
On the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield, live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, this is Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Also brought to you in part by Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com or your local Ford dealer and score a Ford SUV today. Coke Zero Sugar, and refreshingly delicious. Golden Flake, the official potato chip of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Bud Light, it's for the fans. And by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Now, live from Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa, this is Hey Coach.
Roll Tide and welcome to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Welcome, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover alongside our producer and engineer, Tom Stipe, and we're glad you're with us tonight at Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. Roll Tide, everyone. Oh, we have missed hearing that over the last couple of weeks with our holiday break, but we're glad to be back with you from now through the end of April, talking Crimson Tide athletics each Monday night at 6 p.m. We had a great weekend of Alabama basketball. First of all, a big congratulations to the Crimson Tide women's basketball team. Christy Curry's squad improved to 2-2 in SEC play with a really dominant 88-57 win over Auburn down on the Plains yesterday. The win was Alabama's 8th straight in the series, matching the longest winning streak for the Tide in series history, equaling a streak set back in the 1970s. Alabama will have another chance at a victory coming up against Auburn on Super Bowl Sunday in Tuscaloosa. But the Crimson Tide will return to action in women's basketball on Sunday against Ole Miss in Oxford at 4 p.m. Next home game will be on Thursday, January 19th against Texas A&M at Coleman Coliseum. Speaking of Coleman, a sold-out crowd rocked the house on Saturday as the men's basketball team bludgeoned Kentucky. 78-52 was the final score. Alabama now ranked 4th in the nation, and in our second half hour tonight, we'll talk with Tide head coach Nate Oats here at Baumhower's to recap the Kentucky win and look ahead to Wednesday night's top 15 matchup with Arkansas in Fayetteville. In our first half hour tonight, we'll turn our attention to Alabama swimming and diving. Head coach Margo Geer is here, and we'll preview what's ahead with a meet this weekend with Texas and Ohio State coming up here in Tuscaloosa. To join us tonight and ask a question to our coaches, just give us a call on the Yellowhammer Brewing Hotline. The number to dial, 877-202-BAMBA. Fans, also be sure to keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. It's available at the App Store and Google Play. Download the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app now for free. You're listening to Hey Coach from Baumhower's Victory Grille, the official watch party location of the Crimson Tide. Margo Geer joins us next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Producing championship quality lumber is not an easy process, but at Everwood Treatment Company, it's our only process. Wood treated right. Everwood is championship quality lumber for decks, outdoor structures, commercial jobs, and more that you can build your reputation on. No rot, no decay, no termites, no problems. Just wood treated right. To locate your local Everwood store, visit everwoodtreatment.com. Everwood Treatment, official lumber of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
College sports is full of great trash talkers. But what speaks louder than a verbal smackdown are stats. So we'll let Ford F-Series speak for itself. Like advanced capabilities, intelligent towing, smart technology, and 45 years as America's best-selling truck. That's Ford F-Series. Custom order your 2023 F-150 at your local Ford dealer. A proud supporter of college athletics. Some models, trims, and features may not be available based on 1977 to 2021 CY total sales.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Winter temps call for a winter warm-up. Nothing hits the spot quite like the chicken tortilla soup from Chick-fil-A. This delicious blend of spicy shredded chicken, veggies, beans, and seasoned tortilla strips is certain to keep you cozy all season long. Stop by today and enjoy a cupful of hearty, spicy, creamy chicken tortilla soup when you order ahead through the Chick-fil-A app. Available for a limited time.
You can trust your car to the place with the star. With tech running your engine, enjoy your hobbies near and far. Fill your car with all your friends and love the time you spend. So trust your car to the Texaco star.
When you fill up with Texaco with TechRun, you get unbeatable mileage to help fuel what you love to do. Download the Texaco app to find a station near you.
If you're looking for the best selection in Crimson Tide apparel, look no further than the Soup Store. The Soup Store is every Bama fan's ultimate destination for the hottest gear and accessories, with 3 great locations around campus to serve you: in Tuscaloosa on campus at the Ferguson Center, on the Strip in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and on Bryant Drive. If you can't get to Tuscaloosa, shop the Soup Store online at soupstore.ua.edu. The Soup Store is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics.
This segment of Hey Coach is presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. With zero sugar and refreshingly delicious. Is Coca-Cola Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Find out for yourself. We're glad to welcome you to Baumhower's Victory Grill in Tuscaloosa. This is Roger Hoover. Now please be joined by the head coach of Alabama Swimming and Diving, Margo Geer. Roll Tide, Coach.
Roll Tide, Roger. Thanks for having me.
Hey, we're glad you're here. We've got a lot of people in the building excited that Alabama Swimming returns to action this week.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's been since November since we've been up and racing, and even longer since we've had a home meet. So really excited to get going here this weekend. Friday and Saturday with Ohio State and Texas.
Yeah, we'll be excited. We'll talk about that as we continue with this conversation. But for you, second year now as the head coach for the Crimson Tide. Just what was the offseason like getting ready for the fall? What did you learn about your team in the fall?
Yeah, going back to this summer, we had a really, really great summer at Nationals out in Irvine, long course season, and then transitioned into the fall. We brought quite a few newcomers onto the team this fall, and really spent the fall trying to integrate them best we could. And the dynamic this year is a little bit different. We've got a lot of freshmen, some fifth years coming back, and then everywhere, everyone in between as well. So the fall was really about getting our team culture kind of set going into the winter.
Who are some of the key athletes that really set the culture, you feel like?
To be honest, there's a handful of our fifth years that really did a great job. I think, they've obviously been with the program the longest and kind of gone through the most experiences. So I feel like we really leaned on them to help mentor and guide. And then I feel like, our senior class as well has really done a great job and continues to do that. I think continues to grow and develop in that position going into January and February here.
So we're excited to see your team back in action as, again, Alabama will host its lone home meet of the semester when the Crimson Tide welcome in Texas as well as Ohio State. The two-day tri-meet will begin on Friday at 2 o'clock and then close out Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central. So for fans that maybe want to check out the Crimson Tide in the water against Texas and Ohio State, what are they going to see starting on Friday?
Yeah, so Friday we've got diving up front, actually. So diving's going to start at 2 p.m. on Friday. And we've got our diving team is pretty new and fresh right now, going up against some of the best in the country. So Ohio State and Texas bring some really great divers to our pool here. And then at 3:30 we'll have swimming going on Friday. And really just seeing the best of the best competing in a dual meet setting, a little bit of some different events. And split into 2 days. So a lot of great racing, men and women, both some of the top talent in the country.
Starting with the diving, I imagine that gets everybody on the team fired up, knowing, yes, we can't wait to get in the water, but we're going to cheer on our teammates first.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we've got a new diving coach this year, Bo Bunn, and he's done a really great job. Really have loved working with him, and he has the divers in a really good spot. And, they're young and developing, but this will be a really good challenge for them and a good test because Ohio State and Texas have some of the best divers in the country, like I said. So putting them head-to-head with them will be great, and kind of see where they're at right now.
What have you learned more about diving in this role you have now here at Alabama, getting to oversee all aspects of the program?
The divers are honestly incredible. If you just watch what they're doing every day, it's pretty fascinating. They work very hard. They're very focused. And they really add on to what we're doing. I think when you talk about swimming and diving, obviously it's two different things going on. But at the end of the day, the divers really help us do what we need to do in terms of the combination of points from a team perspective. And they've been doing awesome, helping us out a lot in terms of points at dual meets and things like that. So we know when we come into championship season, they're gonna be doing the same.
We look forward to that coming up this weekend. Also, Saturday's contest will be senior day for both the men's and women's programs, including the seniors and the super seniors, and overall 11 seniors and also 6 graduate students on this roster. So a lot of people to recognize coming up this weekend.
Yeah, and can't say enough about how awesome this group is. Off the top of my head, I know recently, a senior, Derek Moss, stands out in my mind as someone who's just been a phenomenal student athlete overall. He's gotten it done in the pool and had some wonderful performances for us, but also recently, getting into med schools and kind of going down the next route for him as well, and really has just had this total experience that really stands out in my mind. So excited to honor not just him, but all of the seniors, and as well as the fifth years that have come back.
Well, it's really exciting getting to see that recognition again coming up this weekend with Texas and Ohio State coming in. And you got to be glad as well. It is strong competition once you return back to the water. That really elevates everyone's performance.
Yeah, I think it's kept us motivated over the winter training. We get a week off or so in December for Christmas and all that, and then we come back and get right back to it. And it's really given us, something to look forward to in the short term and to work towards, and know that we're going to get very much tested here in a couple days. And then knowing that that's also going to sharpen us for what we want to do and the goals that we have down the road at SECs and NCAAs.
Yeah, and speaking of SEC competition, then the next week, getting ready for Friday, January 20th, going down to Auburn to take on the Tigers. Everybody in this room and listening knows what the Alabama-Auburn rivalry means. So what does it mean to you now getting to coach in it once again?
Yeah, we had Auburn here at home last season, and we, looking back at that, the men's meet, I think it came down to like a 1 point differential there. So knowing that they're a really great squad, respect the way that they compete and the leadership that they have over there, and excited to race them at their home pool and again to sharpen as we go into SECs.
Well, we're really excited this weekend. Alabama at home, again welcoming in Texas and Ohio State. Again, the 2-day tri-meet will start on Friday at 2 o'clock here in Tuscaloosa and close out on Saturday at 9 a.m. Central. And we'll talk more about what's ahead with Margo Geer when we come back in just a few moments, as we're with you tonight from Tuscaloosa at Baumhower's Victory Grille. You can celebrate 40 years of Baumhower's Victory Grille with new flavors, including Alabama hot chicken, fajita wraps, and of course, legendary buffalo wings. Baumhower's Victory Grille, the official watch party location of the Crimson Tide. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is an important message from the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Mining fatalities, accidents, and injuries are preventable. Taking a minute to approach your task safely can protect you and your fellow miners from injury and death. Staying alert and focused can keep you safe. Do it safe. Do it right. Whether buckling a seatbelt or securing equipment, these quick safety measures can prevent injuries and fatalities. Take time, save lives. For more resources, visit MSHA.gov.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers all around us.
We go through safety training and try and do these things to make sure accidents don't happen.
You don't want to hit a gas pipe because that's your life. The other part of it is if you hit certain things, you're liable for it.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic. Safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
Unused prescription opioid pain medicines can spell trouble. They can spell risk if taken by someone they weren't prescribed for, harm if accidentally taken by a child or pet, or overdose if they're not used as directed. Safely dispose of opioids before they can hurt your family. Find a drug take-back option such as medicine drop boxes. You may find these in your community at local pharmacies or police stations. Visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Welcome back to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Roger Hoover joined once again by Margot Geer, the head swimming and diving coach for the University of Alabama, as we are preparing for Alabama hosting Texas and Ohio State coming up this week in Tuscaloosa. The two-day tri-meet will start Friday at 2 p.m. Central and close out on Saturday at 9 a.m. Central. So we kind of got a good idea of where the team stands getting ready for this tri-meet coming up. But let's talk about a few individuals on your roster, starting with Kinsey McMahon. She grabbed so many headlines, it seemed, during last fall and last summer.
Yeah, Kinsey's had a phenomenal career here at Alabama, and really just capping off her, leaving a legacy in a big way here into her senior or super senior season, I guess, and not just for Alabama, but also on the world stage. So super proud of her, and she's just continuing to improve, and sky's the limit for her, really.
How can a great performance on the world stage really translate to college swimming?
Yeah, I think a big part of it is, confidence. I feel like being able to get up against the world's best and earn a medal. When you come back from that, I think there's something that just elevates your mental approach to what you're doing. And I think it also allows you to share that with the team. And I think one of the things when she came back, I talked with her and had her share some of the things that she learned over there in Australia, and she really opened up, and I think people learn a lot from that, and I think it's contagious when you have someone like that who just attacks challenges and just elevates everybody else around her.
Yeah, she was able to win bronze at the 2022 FINA World Championships in December in Australia, and I mentioned in December. She had a chance to catch her breath, recover from what was, I'm sure, a whirlwind for her going to Australia and picking up that great bronze medal.
Yeah, World Championships were right before Christmas, and so she capped off a great fall and performed the way she did there, and then got to have a bit of a break for Christmas, and is coming back, and we'll honor her and her performance, I think, at a basketball game here coming up, which will be great. But yeah, she's definitely ready to go and back into the college atmosphere, and excited to finish off her last semester with us from a collegiate standpoint.
Really excited to see Kinsey McMahon competing once again in Tuscaloosa. And I mentioned that the Crimson Tide were able to finish up in the fall. You had the Adamson Invitational to close out last semester. What are you hoping to build on from that performance?
Yeah, so our fall semester kind of culminates at our midseason invite, and this year I went to Texas A&M, and a great meet for us. I think a lot of things stand out, but I think one of the things was trying to keep the squad healthy going into that was a little difficult. So coming off of that, we've really been focusing on getting each individual prepared and healthy and set up in the best way possible for this second half of the season. And I think we're doing that. I think we're in a much better spot collectively as a team, and so excited for that. I think our relays have a lot of room for improvement, trying different sequences and things like that, and yeah, coming together again just in a format where it's a couple of days of racing versus just 1 or 2 days. It's actually, SECs is a 5-day competition. So having a invitational like that kind of sets it up in that way, really good for us in the fall. And now we can kind of build on that into the spring.
And speaking of that as well, Victor shattered both the 500 and 1,650 freestyle records. Both of those records stand for a long time, over a decade here at Alabama. What did he do best in that time?
Yeah, so Victor's been a great addition for us. He's a grad transfer from University of Southern California, and he represents Sweden on the international stage, and he's been awesome. He's great energy and brings a lot to the team. But yeah, he had a wonderful performance at that meet, and I think is just really excited to, again, have 1 year of college swimming left here and wants to represent the Tide the best he can. And he certainly has done that, and I think he's looking to improve here as well. And obviously, breaking 2 of those records that have been, at Alabama for more than a decade, that's huge. And I think Mark Randall was pretty happy to see those go down, and even reached out to Victor, so that was awesome.
That's really cool. How involved are the alums with this current program?
Hey, I think we're trying to get people back more and more, and I think it's awesome to, like I said, to have someone like Mark whose records have stood for such a long time to see that we're trying to make progress and make improvements in all the events and be a pretty balanced team. And we're constantly trying to reach out more and more to the alumni. I would love to have them back for any. I know we haven't had a ton of home meets, but for any home meets that they come to, and excited to continue to grow that support base with the alumni.
Just a reminder, the Crimson Tide will be at home coming up this week on Friday and Saturday, hosting Texas and Ohio State. We'll talk more about that with Coach Geer coming up in a moment. Do want to mention today's Everwood Performance of the Week. It goes to Alabama men's basketball forward Brandon Miller, who was named last week as one of 25 candidates named to the 2023 John R. Wooden Award midseason top 25 watch list. Miller is the first Alabama player to be named to the midseason watch list since Colin Sexton during the 2017-18 season. That is the Everwood Performance of the Week. Everwood treated right. Also, congratulations today to Brandon Miller, once again named the SEC Freshman of the Week. He's earned that honor back-to-back weeks and now 4 times this season. Alabama, if you add in the 2 won by Noah Clowney as well this season, 6 of the 10 weeks we've seen in SEC basketball so far this year, Alabama has had the SEC Freshman of the Week. So we certainly like that in basketball. A lot to like as well about Alabama swimming and diving. We'll have more with Coach Geer coming up next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
We've all been caught up in the little chores that pile up every day. The dishes in the sink, the trash that needs taking out, the pesky check engine light. Isn't it time to make a change and escape to a whole new
Tide fans, as our state moves to the next chapter, the Alabama Department of Public Health is shifting strategies from emergency response to one that minimizes daily disruption to our lives. COVID-19 vaccines and boosters are widely available to anyone 6 months of age and older should you decide that you need one. Together, we can help to protect each other moving forward. For more information on COVID vaccines and virus prevention, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/COVID-19.
When time matters most, you go with what's tried and true. That's tried and true John Deere equipment and Tri-Green service. Tough chores don't stand a chance with a John Deere 4044M tractor. And right now you can get one with 0% financing. With a 43 horsepower engine, power reverser transmission, and a 10-year powertrain warranty, this John Deere helps you work with confidence day after day. So stop by one of our 29 Alabama and Tennessee locations or visit us online at TriGreenEquipment.com.
Offer ends January 31, 2023. 0% APR for 60 months, subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations. You could say we know a thing or two about tradition. We've been family, community, and financially strong since we began in 1906. Being a team player is part of our culture. That's why at CB&S Bank, we're proud to sponsor the University of Alabama Athletics and prouder to take the field or court with you. Visit cbsbank.com today. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Andrew, an employee at BASF in Alabama. As a chemical operator, I enjoy working at BASF because I'm allowed to grow and show my potential. Everyone is like family. I actually like coming to work, and safety is the ultimate goal. At BASF, we create chemistry around the world through our people and our products. To join a winning team and a great place to work, visit BASF.us/Alabama. That's BASF.us/Alabama. BASF, we create chemistry.
This segment of Hey Coach is presented by Homewood Suites by Hilton in downtown Tuscaloosa. Make yourself at home and stay in comfort. Enjoy the great options of the on-site 205 Bar and Restaurant. Homewood Suites by Hilton in Tuscaloosa, a proud preferred hotel partner of the Crimson Tide. Roger Hoover visiting once again with Margot Geer, the head swimming and diving coach for the University of Alabama, and talking about a few more individuals on your roster. Someone else that has been grabbing headlines all throughout her Alabama time, even what she's done internationally, Ryan White. Where does she stand getting ready for this semester?
Yeah, Ryan, she's been standout for us, right? And I think from her perspective, we're just always trying to find new ways to challenge her, to be honest. She's such a talented individual, and she's very committed to her craft and to her sport. And so I know even at our fall invitational, putting her in some different events and challenge her in that way. So I know, breaking the school record in the 200 fly, which is an event that she swims, but something that we can kind of just give her some variety in what she's doing. And so she'll be definitely a force to be reckoned with in the spring. And again, same as Kinsey McMahon, I think two girls that have just left such an impact on our program and leaving a legacy along the way. And for Ryan, it's really the same thing as Kinsey. The sky's the limit for both of them going into championship season.
It's really exciting to see for Ryan White. Looking to the men's side for a moment, going back to the Adamson. How about Charlie Hawk and the amazing run he had during the meet?
Yeah, Charlie's a sophomore for us. He's from Australia, and just a wonderful, wonderful kid. And he had some great success this summer, and really transitioned into the fall quite well, and also someone that we can plug into a lot of different events for our team and our squad, whether it's on a dual meet setting or an invite like in the fall. But yeah, he's a very, very gifted individual and someone who's going to continue to get better, and I'm excited for him, not just for this year, but years ahead as well. I think he's gonna be a really, really good swimmer for us.
You've talked before about some of the international student athletes on this roster. What goes into international recruiting in swimming?
Yeah, international recruiting for swimming is big. I think there's definitely certain countries that we have pretty good relationships with, and when we get swimmers that come here, or divers that come here and compete well for our squad, I think that kind of stirs some noise, and more people from those regions start to reach out and be interested in things like that. So Charlie's been awesome for us, and I know that's kind of he was wearing the Alabama A at his championships back home in Australia, so I think people were starting to find out what that was all about back home, and Yeah, so it's just been awesome. And I think the more success he has, the more, or from, any of the internationals, the more success they have, the more, that Alabama name gets out there and really benefits us.
And not just from the international stage, but just overall in terms of your recruiting. What's the message you're selling about Alabama as you continue getting deep in your time in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, we really break it down to 3 things that we want to do. We want to be great at everything we're doing. We want to celebrate competition. We want to celebrate the ability to compete at the highest level at Alabama, part of such a great athletic community, and then elevate everyone around us and, be selfless in that way and think about how we can impact others. So really those are 3 things that we talk about all the time, and I think I know Nate's coming on the show next, and he just talks about the championship school, and we reiterate that message a lot. We want to win championships, and we want to also set up kids the best we can for life after they win those championships. And
you mentioned with Nate coming on next, I'm sure you got to know him just a little bit. Have you enjoyed kind of picking the brains of a lot of different coaches on this campus?
It's been awesome, especially as a young coach, and really beginning my career. Patrick Murphy, I got to give him a shout out. He's been awesome. Definitely, learned from him a lot. And then really all the head coaches have just been wonderful. We've got a great support through the athletic department to get together and to have conversations and discuss. And that's probably been one of the coolest parts about this job is getting to meet other people that are very elite at what they do and understanding how they do things and picking their brain on all that.
That's got to be exciting. And I know some of your student athletes were cheering on the Crimson Tide men's basketball team this past weekend with the Kentucky game. And I'm sure you're hopeful that a lot of people will make their way to campus for what should really be exciting coming up on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to see as many people as we can and pack the house and, bringing in 2 of the best teams in the country again. I think, I think both coaches from Texas and Ohio State have said they haven't been in Tuscaloosa in many, many years. So wanted to get them on the schedule, wanted to bring the best here to Tuscaloosa for our fans to see and really just enjoy some fast women.
That really will be exciting. Again, it's a marquee matchup with powerhouses Texas and Ohio State coming to town. Again, the 2-day tri-meet will start on Friday at 2 p.m. Central and then close out on Saturday at 9 a.m. Then the Crimson Tide will be heading to Auburn next weekend as the Crimson Tide will hit the road for the first time in this semester in SEC play. And then kind of what's after that? What's the road you want to see the Crimson Tide continue to go down as they get closer to SECs and then nationals?
So Auburn's our last dual meet, and then from there we'll really set our roster, set the tone for what we want to do going into SEC championships, which is a combined meet for us, which is great. A lot of energy, a lot of just a great environment. And then from there, NCAAs will be split. We'll have women the week of spring break, and then men the weekend after. And just very excited to see what we can do in the second season. And excited for the future of the program.
And you seem like you feel really confident about the mindset and the culture that this group has, carrying over some success in the fall into the spring.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, at the end of the day, the championship season is really just it's my favorite part. It's the most exciting part. It's making sure that the kids are in a good spot and confident and ready to go and that they feel the support from the staff.
Well, it's really exciting again. Alabama hosting Texas and Ohio State coming up this week. And before we let you go, of course, there is a little bit of football game tonight, the national championship game and the college football playoff before kickoff. We may get Coach Oats. The game may have already kicked off, so his prediction could be skewed a little bit. But who do you got, TCU or Georgia?
I'm going to go with the SEC team here. I think Georgia's going to take this one. Although it's good to see TCU in the mix, and I'm excited for them to see what they can do against a really good Georgia team.
All right, well that certainly sounds good. Well, Margot Geer, again, we are very excited that Alabama swimming and diving will be back in action coming up at home here in Tuscaloosa again on Friday. It will all get going in the afternoon and at 2 p.m. Central, and then Saturday closing out at 9 a.m. Central. Hope to see see a lot of Alabama fans make their way to the pool and enjoy watching some Crimson Tide swimming and diving. But until then, Roll Tide. Thank you so much for joining us on Hey Coach tonight.
Roll Tide, Roger. Thank you.
That is Margot Geer, the head swimming and diving coach here at the University of Alabama. Make sure you check them out this weekend against Texas and Ohio State. We'll continue with more Hey Coach coming up in just a few moments. And I want to remind you that Hey Coach is presented by Alfa Insurance. You can visit alfainsurance.com to find a local agent. For auto, home, and life insurance, make sure you call Alfa. We'll continue with more in just a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
At Red Diamond, we know that there's simply nothing better than the perfect sip of fresh brewed iced tea. And we've been working hard to make sure choosing Red Diamond is always easy, with only simple ingredients: water, tea leaves, and pure cane sugar, or no sugar. We make sure our tea tastes like, well, tea. Stop by your local cooler and pick up a gallon for a perfect sip today. Red Diamond. Perfect's not easy.
Here at Payless Drugs, we continue to be just what the doctor ordered. We know getting the medicine you need is especially important during these unique times. And for your safety and convenience, we offer a drive-through at every location. Plus, we have prescription delivery and contactless pickup at all locations. Now's the time to take care of your immunization needs. Stop by any of our convenient locations today.
Just what the doctor ordered. Payless Drugs.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. With honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be shared with friends or family. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Meet Ed, movie buff, animal lover, safe driver.
5 years of driving an ambulance teaches you a thing or two. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. When I see a car trying to rush past a turning bus, I get concerned. You see, when big vehicles turn right, they have to swing wide to make the turn. And that's a lesson you don't want to learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait.
It's our roads. It's our safety. Visit www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
I've been driving trucks for a long time. Safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
Strong on the attempt. Rebound tipped into his hands, though, from Miller. Sears, three, bottom. I love it when a plan comes together. Now, Refreshing Bama Highlight is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, brewed locally in Alabama and served to fans across the Southeast. Glad to welcome you back to Baumhower's Victory Grille in Tuscaloosa. This is Roger Hoover, now joined by the head coach of the Crimson Tide men's basketball team, Nate Oats.
Thanks, Roger. Roll Tide. It's a fun week for us.
It really was fun. On Saturday, a big win against Kentucky, 78-52. A sold-out Coleman Coliseum. We got a packed Baumhowers tonight. A lot of energy in here. There was a lot of energy even well before tip-off. You had to love seeing that for your team.
Yeah, it was great. It was a noon tip. Starting to get full around 10:30 when they started letting them in. So the student section was packed. I didn't see any empty seats in the place. So it was great. It was good for our guys. It's fun for them to play in front of a packed arena. It's a fun environment to be a part of, both as a player, coach, fan, everything. So our guys have been playing hard. They've been playing well. They're playing a brand of basketball that people like to support, and people are coming out to support them. So we're excited for our players.
How about the start to this ball game? What did your team execute the best? I imagine a lot of what you talk about in the locker room is the first 5 minutes of the ball game. How did they execute in those first 5 minutes?
You know what? We came out, we got in pick and rolls like we wanted. Jaden Bradley found Charles on that first one right out of the gate. We went back to it. You know, they did a great job attacking. I thought Shibwe's weakness on defense was in pick and roll, and our guys did a good job attacking him. And you know, he's the returning National Player of the Year and only played him 23 minutes because they were upset with this defense. But I think a lot of that was the way our guys were able to expose him a little bit. So we came out great on offense that way. Our defense was probably even better. I think Charlie's done a really good job prepping our guys every game to get them ready to, you know, take away the opponent's strengths. You know, they were leading the SEC in three-point percentage, but they didn't take a ton of threes. So we had to make sure we got the guys that shot it well off the line. You know, Kaysen Wallace was the best shooter in the starting lineup. I thought we did a really good job on Kaysen. You know, we did a great job on Shibwe on the defensive end. I thought we did a good job with him on both ends. You know, Charles was really good. So, you know, and if you look, they didn't have a whole lot of depth in their scoring. I mean, if you went into halftime, I think Wheeler had 10, Reeves had 10, and the rest of the team combined had 4. So we did a really good job on really making sure that, you know, Shibwe, Kaysen Wallace, some of those guys didn't beat us.
If you have a question for Coach Oats, you can give us a call on the Yellowhammer Brewing Hotline at 877-202-BAMA. And tonight's first question from the phones brought to you by Alabama 811. Always contact 811 before you dig to know what's below. Call 811 or visit AL811.com. Let's go to Grand Bay, Alabama, where Pee Wee joins us now. Roll Tide, Pee Wee.
Roll Tide, Roger. Coach, how are you doing, sir?
Doing good, Pee Wee. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, y'all had touched on a little bit maybe what I was going to ask about with Charles, the job that he did down low in the game against Shibwe. You know, this was the first game, I think, in his college career where he was out-rebounded. And we had 3 players, if I'm not mistaken, that had more rebounding than him. But I wanted to ask you, it seemed like a big turning point in the game was when Toppin went out. It seemed like after that point in time that Brandon, he kind of stepped his game up and kind of almost took over the game. I was just wondering your opinion on that.
Yeah, that was the first time, I think, since Shibwe's been at Kentucky that he wasn't the leading rebounder in the game, and Brandon Miller was actually the leading rebounder. We had some other guys tie with Shibwe at 6, so we did a really good job with him, keeping him off the glass, just really keeping him off the floor, to be honest with you. And then Brandon, you know, Brandon's really talented, but he doesn't ever press too much to where he's shooting tough, bad shots. I thought he just kind of let the game come to him, and then he usually finds a way to break loose and get himself on a scoring run. So, you know, it was when Toppin was out was when he made that run, but I'm not sure that it was necessarily Toppin that was the reason he wasn't scoring. I think it just kind of was in the flow because, you know, Livingston was a pretty good defender. I mean, they've got good athletes. It's Kentucky. They recruit some of the best players and athletes in the country. But, you know, Brandon's one of the best players in the country. I think we'll see that when the draft comes. And I think he was able to get loose and got someone to break, got some threes off. So he's just a really good player. It's going to be hard to keep him down for all 40 minutes.
Thank you, Pee Wee, for the call as Alabama defeats Kentucky 78-52 on Saturday. And winning the hard hat for the Crimson Tide, Mark Sears, a really good performance turned in by Sears. What kind of winning plays did he make to earn the hard hat?
He was really good. I mean, he did a great job on Wheeler. You know, we stressed to our guys that Shibwe is a tough rebounder. He's going to get some offensive rebounds when he does get them. We're going to have people around there try to strip him. You know, Sears was one of those. He got in there, made some tough plays. Ended up with 6 steals to go with 6 rebounds, and obviously scored it well like he's done for us all year. But I think that game kind of proved how tough he can be, how good he can be on the defensive end, how many tough plays he can make. And, you know, hopefully that's a starting point for him to play that tough every game on that end of the floor because we could certainly use it. But I was really proud of his effort on the defensive end of the floor.
Alabama picks up the win against Kentucky in front of a sold-out Coleman Coliseum. One of the fans that was there was Alabama football head coach Nick Saban, sitting courtside along with Director of Athletics Greg Byrne. Did you get to have any interaction with Coach Saban before or after the game?
Yeah, I talked to him quick before the game. He was, he's excited to watch the team. It was great to have him there. He's obviously one of the best coaches in all team sports. So, it was fun to have him sitting there. But I also thought, you get a little bit of inspiration from him. He's won a lot of games. I kind of referenced after the game when he had made the point to make. I think he was at the LSU game, maybe talking, or a few years back, to make them quit. I thought our players were playing hard enough to try to make Kentucky quit. I don't want to say Kentucky quit, but our players we didn't let our foot off the gas. So it was good to have him in the front row for that performance.
Certainly was. Right now he's in Los Angeles as they're about to kick off between Georgia and TCU. And before kickoff begins, what's your prediction for this game?
Look, I'm an SEC guy now, and I think the SEC's got the best football in the country. And my prediction would be Georgia.
There we go. We're sorry about your Packers last night.
That was disastrous. The Lions didn't even have anything to play for, and we couldn't beat them. I don't have anything to say. I gave up hope for them after game one, and somehow they fought their way back into the playoff hunt and then led us right to the end and dropped us off a cliff last night.
All right, that's enough football with Coach Oats. We'll talk some basketball. Crimson Tide have a big game coming up Wednesday at Arkansas. We'll have more on that coming up in a moment. You're listening to Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
College sports is full of great trash talkers. But what speaks louder than a verbal smackdown are stats. So we'll let Ford F-Series speak for itself. Like advanced capabilities, intelligent towing, smart technology, and 45 years as America's best-selling truck. That's Ford F-Series. Custom order your 2023 F-150 at your local Ford dealer, a proud supporter of college athletics. Some models, trims, and features may not be available based on 1977 to 2021 CY total sales.
Tide fans, Golden Flake Snacks have been a proud partner with the Tide family for 65 years. The South's original potato chip, Golden Flake Snacks are delicious fan favorites because they're crafted from traditional Southern recipes. From crisp, perfectly flavored potato chips to light and airy pork rinds and fluffy, cheesy cheese puffs, Golden Flake Snacks are a winning combination with Alabama basketball. Share Golden Flake Snacks with your Tide family and friends. Simple, Southern goodness. That's Golden Flake.
The way we do work has changed. Where we work, how we work, and the day-to-day challenges we face as businesses have evolved. As organizations continue to adapt, RJ Young is here to help. We're your one-stop for technology solutions that power your business. Whether it's office technology and equipment, managed IT services, business process outsourcing, or digital communications, we can help make your workflows easier, faster, and more efficient so your team can focus on the core of your business. To learn more about what RJ Young can do for you, visit themodernoffice.com.
Communities don't just happen. They're built by people. From the big moments to the small acts of kindness. It's the authentic connections we make that define us. At Alfa Insurance, we know that every day you're building things that are worth protecting. Because for us, this is more than coverage. It's who we are. Alfa Insurance, building tomorrow together.
In SEC sports, the ifs come at you every minute. What if your QB had released the ball a second earlier? What if the head coach hadn't used his last timeout? What if your team goes all the way this season? If you love the tradition, if you live for the rivalry, if you can't wait each week for the absolute edge-of-your-seat action, Regions is right there with you as the official bank of the SEC.
Regions can't help you with the ifs in sports. Regions helps you embrace the if in life.
Member FDIC.
Yellowhammer Brewing is proud to sponsor the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yellowhammer Brewing has been crafting fine beers for the state of Alabama for 12 years running. Their beers include a variety of classic styles, including their latest release, Yellowhammer Gold, a light, easy-drinking American lager. These guys are local and doing great things for their community. You can find their beers at grocery stores, restaurants, and craft beer shops throughout the state. Check them out at yellowhammerbrewing.com. Make your next pint of Yellowhammer and roll Tide.
JQ, three, bottom,
Bama rolling right now. Another bank first three-pointer, and the Tide leads it by 24. Chris Stewart on the call of another three-pointer by Javon Quinterly from the big win against Kentucky on Saturday. And our conversation with Nate Oats is presented by CB&S Bank. You can bank anywhere at any time with CB&S Bank's digital solutions. Managing your finances has never been so easy. And, Coach, congratulations in order to Javon Quinterly. Over 1,000 points in his time here.
Yeah, it was big. I mean, he's played well for us. You know, he's SEC tournament MVP 2 years ago when we won it. He's had some really big games. You know, the fact he's coming off the injury obviously hindered him at the beginning of this year, but he's starting to find his rhythm. I thought that's the best he's played all year. So it's great. He scored 1,000 too. Hopefully we can get him rolling here.
And another honor came in today for Brandon Miller, the SEC Freshman of the Week for the 4th time this season. And you add in the 2 by Noah Clowney. That's 6 of 10 weeks Alabama's had the Freshman of the Week in the SEC.
Yeah, we've got a really good freshman class. And, I mean, Jaden Bradley's doing well. Rylan Griffin's good. I mean, they're just – Brandon's pretty special. So, yeah, it was nice. He got it again. That's his 4th out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then Noah Clowney's got 2, so we have 6 out of the 10. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty early in January, so there are more to come.
Yeah, hopefully there's a few more to come for those guys.
Well, a big week starting for the Crimson Tide on Wednesday against Arkansas. 6 p.m. tip-off at Bud Walton Arena. 5 o'clock our airtime here on the network. What can you tell us about the Razorbacks? Obviously, a lot of talent after the deep run last year. So far, they're 1-2 in SEC play.
Yeah, I mean, they started 1-3 last year and then finished 13-5. So this isn't something new for them to start slow. They play a lot better at home. They're going to be ready to go. They've had some injuries, you know, but they're one of the teams. I think they're picked to be second in the SEC preseason. So they're one of the better teams. And if you look, you know, on the analytics sites and stuff, like they're top 10 to 15. They're still ranked in the top 20. This will be a top 20 matchup. It's on the road for us. It's not going to be an easy one on the road at Bud Walton. They pack the place out and make it good. I mean, they've got, I think, the 3rd leading scorer in the SEC, and Ricky Council transfer. You know, they do a lot with transfers. So Ricky Council's been good for them. They don't have the production inside that they had last year with Jalen Williams, but their guard play is pretty good. They're not a great shooting team, but they find other ways to, you know, they get to the rim, they get fouled, they get to the old boards. They're an elite defensive team, so our offense is going to have to be good. We're going to have to take care of the ball like we've done the last 2 games. But it's going to be a tough game for us.
Ricky Council last time out had 14 points against Auburn. How about Anthony Black? He had 23 last time out against Auburn. A lot of those came at the free throw line.
Yeah, he's another one. He's probably won some Freshman of the Week. He's one of the better freshmen in the country. So 6'7" point guard, really talented. You know, they got him. Got another freshman, Jordan Walsh, in the starting lineup that's really good. Devontae Davis has been there. You know, he's pretty well known in the SEC. He's been a really good player in the SEC for a while now. So, you know, and then they've got the twin brothers, the Mitchell brothers. One of them starts at center. So they've got a talented group. But, you know, Anthony Black runs the show for him. Big 6'7" point guard that gets downhill, scores it well, gets fouled, gets the free throw line. Like, he's talented. He's on everybody's first-round mock drafts, too.
Away from Tuscaloosa, this team has had some really good performances. What are you looking to see now as they get deeper into conference play, having to play on the road, because that can be such a big difference in terms of how the season goes for you?
Yeah, I mean, we've proven we can go on the road and win big games. We went to Houston when they were number 1 and beat them, and they dropped out, and then they just got back in this week. You know, they're the number 1 team again in the country. So if you can beat the number 1 team in the country on the road, you can play with anybody on the road. I think we've kind of proven that. So, you know, Bud Walton's a tough place to play, but we've done well on the road. We expect to play well on the road again. And, you know, if we're going to compete for an SEC championship, this is one of those games we're going to have to go in and play well and try to get a win here.
It's really going to be exciting coming up on Wednesday night, Alabama against Arkansas. Then the Crimson Tide will be back here on Saturday to welcome in the LSU Tigers. And I know you want to see that same kind of energy, same kind of focus we saw from our fan base getting ready for a Saturday matchup with LSU.
Yeah, that would be great. I thought the environment was unbelievable with Kentucky. Hopefully we can get it like that for every game moving forward. They'll all be SEC games. So, you know, LSU's been surprisingly good. Surprisingly only because, you know, they had nobody on scholarship in the summer. I think all their players are winning the transfer portal now. He was able, you know, Coach McMahon did a really good job at Murray State. He was able to recruit some of them back. But they've done a really good job putting a roster together, you know, and winning a lot of games. And they played some of the better teams in the country and in the league tough at their place. So that'll be we kind of went into this stretch with Kentucky, Arkansas, LSU. This 3-game stretch is the big 3-game stretch. So if we, could get these next 2, it'd be huge for us.
Well, Coach, we're looking forward to it. Starting Wednesday at Arkansas, Saturday against LSU. Just thank you so much for your time tonight. And, hey, Coach, roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Appreciate it, Roger.
That's Alabama head coach Nate Oats, his Crimson Tide, getting you up for a Wednesday trip to Arkansas. Alabama now the 4th-ranked team in the country on the strength of the Saturday win against Kentucky. Special thanks to Onward Reserve, the official apparel provider of the Crimson Tide Sports Network, for all of the great gear this season. Visit onwardreserve.com for all of your golf and game day apparel. Live authentically with Onward Reserve. Hey, Coach is presented by Alfa Insurance. For auto, home, and life insurance, call Alfa. Back to wrap up this edition of Hey, Coach when we return in a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
I found hope in the midst of an overwhelming situation.
Alcoholism is a disease that can affect any family. Everyone suffers, but there is help and hope at Al-Anon Family Groups.
Al-Anon gave me my life back. I'm a better father and husband.
Are you in an overwhelming situation because of someone else's drinking? Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Local and virtual meetings are available. Maybe one could work for you. Call 1-866-200-0033 or visit alanon.org/hope.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The United States Deputy Sheriff's Association is a national nonprofit and the largest non-governmental provider of services to law enforcement. The USDSA assists city, county, state, and federal agencies with free safety equipment donations and officer survival training, along with cash donations to families of law enforcement officers who perish in the line of duty, college scholarships for the children of law enforcement, a citizen awareness program, and more. For more information on the USDSA and how you can help, visit usdeputy.org.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you Mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Trustmark is the bank that fits you to a
T.
You can bank right on your phone or
tablet
with the My Trustmark app. Our mortgage lenders will help you buy your dream
two-story tutor.
And Trustmark Tailored Wealth offers
tried and true
advice that makes
transforming
your future a piece of
toast?
Nice. Trustmark. People you trust. Advice that works. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
At My Eye Doctor, we would never think of getting between you and your screen, except with blue light lenses. Eye strain can happen by spending hours and hours with devices, texting, gaming, binging. Our lens solutions can help minimize the stress and strain of harmful blue light. We welcome all insurances. Eye care and eyewear are better together at My Eye Doctor, Doctors of Optometry. Schedule an appointment today at myeyedr.com.
What widens the eyes, tightens the stomach, and flutters the heart. Adrenaline. Feel it for yourself in the Toyota RAV4, Camry, Corolla, and Tacoma. Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our 2-year maintenance plan at no cost to you. Toyota, let's go places. Toyota Care covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever comes first. 24-hour roadside assistance is also included for 2 years and unlimited mileage. See Toyota dealer for details and exclusions. Valid only in the continental U.S. Expires January 31st, 2023.
What's on tap next for Bama, presented by Bud Light, a proud sponsor of Alabama Athletics. Roll Tide with Bud Light. Of course, we will have men's basketball Wednesday night, a 5 o'clock airtime. The tip-off at 6 p.m., Alabama against Arkansas, then home on Saturday to face LSU. If you missed any portion of tonight's show, catch it on demand or download on our Alabama Insider podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. That does it for tonight's Hey Coach, presented by Alfa Insurance. Good night from Baumhower's Victory Grille in